Scandal breaks out. Hak-nyeon caught in a hotel with Avenue star Kirara Asuka. Truth or trap? What really happened behind those hotel doors? Was it a reckless mistake, a media setup, or something far more calculated? As photos surface and rumors spiral out of control, the K-pop world holds its breath. Join us now on Red Carpet Revealed as we dig into this story that's shaking the idol world to its core. Scandal breaks out. Hak-nyeon caught in a hotel with Avenue star Kirara Asuka. Truth or trap? The K-pop world has been shaken once again, and this time, it's not a minor misunderstanding or misinterpreted social media post. No, this is something much bigger. Just days ago, a blurry yet damning photo made its way online, showing what appears to be Hak-nyeon of the boys entering a luxury hotel in Tokyo. Minutes later, another image surfaced, Avenue superstar Kirara Asuka seen exiting the same hotel hours later. The timestamps were unmistakable. Implications, even louder. What followed was an explosion of controversy, confusion, and concern that sent fans into a frenzy and netizens into full detective mode. Was this the fall of a beloved idol? Or is Hak-nyeon the victim of a meticulously planned smear campaign? The very first image hit an anonymous blog run by a self-proclaimed industry insider in Japan. Within an hour, it was reposted across Twitter, TikTok, Korean forums such as Nateban and The Coup. The chaos was immediate. Some fans rushed to his defense, while others, fueled by disappointment, disbelief, or sheer curiosity, started connecting the dots. Had there been previous signs? Hidden clues? Kirara Asuka, known across Asia for her bold and unapologetic persona, became the unwitting star of yet another media circus. Kirara Asuka, while controversial in some conservative circles, is undeniably an icon in her own right. Rising from the adult entertainment industry in Japan, she has built an empire that spans mainstream media, fashion, and influencer status. Her Instagram, flooded with lavish travel photos and high-end fashion, has more followers than some K-pop groups. Her power lies not just in beauty, but in the ability to command attention. That very power now links her name with Hak-nyeon, sending tremors through both fandoms. But why Hak-nyeon? Out of all idols, why him? The boys have maintained a relatively clean slate, their fandom known for loyalty and collective strength. Hak-nyeon himself is often described as the sunshine of the group, cheerful, respectful, hardworking. There had never been rumors, not even whispers, that made the scandal all the more jarring. Citizens began speculating everything from secret relationships to hidden sponsorships. Pointed to Kirara's past interactions with Korean celebrities, suggesting this might not have been their first meeting. Others noted how carefully the photos were timed and released, implying a deeper strategy, maybe even blackmail. The lack of an immediate statement from Hak-nyeon's agency only fueled speculation. Why the silence? Was he being protected, or was the company scrambling to contain the fallout? Then came the hashtags. #Hak-nyeon scandal began trending in both Japan and Korea. Within 12 hours, it had crossed over to global K-pop fandoms. Influencers and YouTubers did live breakdowns of the hotel's layout, the credibility of the images, and potential legal implications. Even Reddit threads began mapping out timelines, highlighting Kirara's travel schedule, matching it with the boys' Japan promotions. For many, the line between personal freedom and public responsibility started to blur. Should idols be allowed private lives? Was Hak-nyeon entitled to meet whomever he wanted, even someone with a controversial public image? Or did his role as a public figure, especially when marketed as wholesome, impose a different set of rules? What made this scandal particularly divisive was the visual contrast between the two figures. Kirara, bold, sensual, unafraid to challenge norms. Hak-nyeon, polished, reserved, a product of Korea's rigid idol training system. The collision of these two worlds created a narrative too irresistible for the media and netizens to ignore. By the third day, Hak-nyeon's agency issued a brief statement, We are currently verifying the facts regarding the online speculation involving our artist. We ask for your understanding and refrain from further spreading unconfirmed information. The vague nature of the statement did little to calm the storm. In fact, it inflamed it. Online, sides were quickly being drawn. Some fans argued that even if the meetup was true, it was his private life and didn't warrant career damage. Others felt betrayed, especially given the industry's emphasis on purity and fan idol fantasy. A vocal minority went further, demanding suspension or removal from group activities until the matter was cleared. Meanwhile, Kirara Asuka's team remained completely silent. Not a single comment, denial, or confirmation. This absence of response only intensified curiosity. Was silence a tactic to avoid further headlines, or a way to signal that there was, indeed, something more behind the scenes? The scandal reached its peak when a second blog post emerged, claiming to possess additional proof including hotel room service receipts and an alleged audio clip. Although unverified, the post attracted over 1 million views in under 24 hours. Netizens now questioned if money was exchanged. This quickly led to darker speculations. Was Hak-nyeon involved in compensated dating? Was this a sting operation? The lines between fact, fiction, and fan fiction became dangerously blurred. Part of the chaos was a young man whose voice remained unheard. For days, Hak-nyeon made no personal statement. Some believed he was advised to stay silent, others feared the silence meant guilt. Within his fan communities, letters poured in both defending and condemning. Fan sites went on hiatus. Group schedules were altered. Once steady rhythm of K-pop promotions was now shaken by a scandal no one saw coming. In the midst of this storm, celebrities cautiously offered support. One anonymous idol commented via a private forum, "People forget we're human too. We make mistakes, but we're rarely given a chance to explain before judgment is passed." And that brings us to the present. As part 1 of this unfolding story closes, the question remains, was Hak-nyeon simply unlucky? Caught in a moment spun out of proportion? Or are we only seeing the surface of a much deeper story? As the news of the alleged hotel encounter between Hak-nyeon and Kirara Asuka continued to dominate headlines, the narrative began to spiral in multiple directions. While some tabloids doubled down with sensational claims, others urged restraint and fact-checking. Meanwhile, both fandoms, the B and followers of Kirara Asuka, were caught in a storm of confusion, frustration, and emotional division. The boys' fandom reacted with swift polarity. One side demanded immediate accountability, expressing disappointment and concern that Hak-nyeon might have damaged the pristine image the group had carefully maintained over the years. Social media flooded with hashtags such as #ProtectTheBoys and #Hak-nyeonexplain. On the other hand, a wave of loyal fans launched a defensive movement, arguing that even if the allegations were true, idols deserved personal privacy and the freedom to make their own choices offstage. This group promoted tags like #We Stand With Hak-nyeon and #Idols Are Human Too. The management company, IST Entertainment, was unusually silent for the first 48 hours following the scandal. This silence created a vacuum that quickly filled with theories. Some fans speculated the company was conducting an internal investigation, while others accused the agency of attempting to cover up the story until public pressure forced them to act. When a statement finally arrived, it was brief and carefully worded, emphasizing that Hak-nyeon was currently cooperating with internal reviews and that they respect the private lives of their artists while taking all public concerns seriously. This vague language only ignited more curiosity. What did cooperating with internal reviews mean? Was the agency aware of a relationship with Kirara Asuka before the hotel sighting? Was there an agreement, or was this a rogue action by the idol? These unanswered questions continued to stir the pot across fan forums, YouTube commentary videos, and even international K-pop news outlets. Kirara Asuka, for her part, an unexpectedly direct approach. 3 days after the news broke, she took to her personal platform and uploaded a short video titled "What You Should Know." In the calm, poised clip, she addressed the situation plainly. "Yes, I met Hak-nyeon at a hotel. No, It was not a transactional encounter. We are not in a relationship. We were discussing a possible video collaboration for a Japanese-Korean fashion charity campaign. Anything more is speculation. Simplicity of her statement stunned many. Was it all a professional misunderstanding taken out of context? Or was this a clever PR move designed to diffuse tension without revealing the full truth? Analysts dissected her tone, body language, and even the background of the video in search of clues. Netizens praised her for taking control of the narrative when Hak-nyeon and his agency remained cryptic. But the press wasn't finished. Just 2 days after Kirara's video, a Japanese tabloid released still images allegedly showing Hak-nyeon and Kirara having dinner at a luxury restaurant 2 weeks prior to the hotel sighting. This rekindled the dating rumor. Netizens questioning why their meeting would span multiple private events if it was strictly professional. A storm of editorials emerged. Korean culture critics questioned the double standards in idol dating, especially involving women from the adult industry. Others pointed out the enduring pressure K-pop idols face to maintain an unattainable purity, even in adulthood. Commentators overseas emphasized cultural hypocrisy, where fans celebrate fantasy but punish real-world intimacy. As debates raged on, the boys continued scheduled promotions without Hak-nyeon, fueling speculation of a quiet suspension. The absence was noted and mourned by fans, while others viewed it as a necessary pause to let the scandal cool down. Behind closed doors, rumors swirled about Hak-nyeon considering a hiatus. Several anonymous staffers from past music shows claimed the idol was emotionally exhausted and deeply regretful of the chaos. Whether out of guilt, shame, or simple burnout, it seemed clear that Hak-nyeon was in no state to perform. In parallel, Kirara Asuka experienced a wave of publicity, both good and bad. Her name surged in searches across South Korea and Japan, and some of her older interviews were re-uploaded with Korean subtitles. Curiosity about her perspective, choices, and lifestyle began to grow, transforming her from avant star to internet enigma. Interestingly, this led to unintended cultural crossover. While some conservative viewers shunned her presence, younger fans found themselves more open to her unapologetic personality. A trending tweet read, "Kirara speaks better than most idols' PR teams. Respect." By week 2 of the scandal, narrative had evolved. This was no longer just a story about a hotel visit. It had grown into a larger conversation about K-pop's oppressive standards, sexual politics, gender bias, the evolving image of modern idols. Activists jumped into. A feminist coalition criticized the way Kirara was demonized for her past while Hak-nyeon remained largely insulated. Why is the woman always portrayed as the seductress? Why do men get the benefit of silence while women face a firing squad of speculation? Read a widely shared op-ed. The aftermath began to take shape. ISD Entertainment confirmed that Hak-nyeon would go on temporary hiatus to focus on personal reflection and growth. The statement was paired with a handwritten note from Hak-nyeon, expressing remorse for causing distress and asking for time to grow and become worthy of the love I've received. The boys resumed full group promotions 3 weeks later, but fans noticed a palpable shift. Choreographies were rearranged, and Hak-nyeon's parts were covered by other members. Online fan discussions debated his return date, if ever. Meanwhile, Kirara Asuka capitalized on the exposure. She was invited to appear on 2 YouTube podcasts and even received a brand partnership with a Korean-based streetwear label. Her willingness to confront the scandal head-on earned her both respect and criticism, but undeniably expanded her audience beyond previous boundaries. Months later, a Japanese documentary crew followed up on the story, revealing unreleased footage of Kirara and Hak-nyeon in casual conversation at the fashion event planning site. The atmosphere was warm and professional. It gave some credence to the initial claim that the hotel meeting may indeed have been business-related. Still, the damage had been done. Hak-nyeon had lost sponsorships, missed comeback promotions, and became a cautionary tale. Kirara Asuka, on the other hand, turned scandal into visibility, reminding the public that controversy, when navigated with composure and clarity, can become opportunity. In the end, the real question lingered like smoke in the air: was it truth or trap? And perhaps the bigger question remains: much control do idols truly have over their narratives in a world that demands fantasy but thrives on scandal? As always, let us know what you think. Was Joo Hak-nyeon a victim of bad timing, media manipulation, personal misjudgment? Was Kirara unfairly blamed, or expertly managing her image? Red carpet revealed. We'll be watching. Stay tuned. More stories await behind the curtain.